What if 100 repetitions could rewrite your reality? Jacobo Grinberg discovered that the mind doesn't just perceive, it constructs the world around it. He believed that consciousness shapes the very structure of reality in ways that few truly understand. Neville Goddard, on the other hand, revealed that the mechanism behind this transformation isn't about effort, but about absolute certainty and intentional repetition. But what happens when we combine these two perspectives into a simple yet widely overlooked technique? No rituals, no materials, just your voice and conviction. Does it sound too simple to be real? Then maybe that's exactly what they don't want you to know. The results? Impossible to explain until you experience them. And when you do, everything you thought you knew about reality may never be the same again. Few dare to question the very nature of existence. Jacobo Grinberg was one of those rare minds, a scientist who refused to accept prepackaged answers. He didn't just want to understand how we perceive the world, he wanted to uncover how we create it. Through his studies on consciousness, Grinberg proposed that the mind doesn't simply observe, it actively constructs the experience we call reality, shaping it based on deep-seated internal patterns. This suggests that what you believe to be unchangeable may, in fact, be nothing more than a reflection of what you've been conditioned to accept as truth. This concept finds a striking parallel in Neville Goddard's teachings, which claim that the external world is merely a projection of the inner mind. According to him, repeating a thought infused with deep emotion has the power to completely reshape one's life. If reality is built upon what we accept as true, then repeating an affirmation 100 times isn't just a mechanical act, it's a profound process of reconfiguration. Grinberg believed that the mind interacts with an invisible field of information, while Neville taught that this interaction can be consciously directed by speaking a specific phrase with total conviction. You're not just reinforcing an idea, you're tuning your mind to a new frequency, one capable of attracting corresponding events. The idea that repetition can transform reality isn't superstition, it's a fundamental mechanism of the human mind. Since ancient times, mantras, prayers, and rituals have harnessed this principle to alter states of consciousness and bring about real change. But what happens when you apply this technique deliberately, with focus and full emotional engagement? Jacobo Grinberg studied how the mind constructs reality through internalized patterns, suggesting that what we perceive as solid is actually an illusion created by consciousness interacting with an invisible field of information. He claimed that this field responds to the mind in ways that conventional science has yet to fully understand. Neville Goddard, on the other hand, didn't rely on scientific explanations. He simply declared that whatever is repeated with conviction becomes reality. The common ground between these two perspectives is clear. Repetition doesn't just reinforce a belief, it rewires neural connections, reshaping the internal structure that defines external experience. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts whatever is presented to it repeatedly with emotion. When you repeat an affirmation 100 times, something begins to shift at a deep level. Specific neural networks are activated and strengthened, making that idea more and more embedded in your mental framework. Grinberg believed the brain could enter altered states where the boundaries between the physical and the mental dissolve. Neville taught that by affirming something with certainty, you shift your internal vibration, causing reality to adjust to reflect this new configuration. The key to this process isn't in mechanical repetition, but in feeling each word as absolute truth. That's how the subconscious mind adopts the new pattern and begins translating it into tangible events. Repeating an affirmation 100 times is a simple yet powerful practice. It has the potential to break mental barriers, dissolve limiting beliefs, and reprogram your perception of the world. If the human mind truly interacts with an informational field, then this exercise could be the key to accessing alternate realities. What you're about to learn isn't just a technique, it's a portal to a new way of being. Repetition is the language of the subconscious. Everything you believe today was, at some point, repeated to you over and over until it became part of your identity. Since childhood, we've heard statements that shaped our perception of money, relationships, success, even our sense of self. Many of these beliefs were implanted without question, becoming invisible laws that govern our lives. What Neville, Goddard, and Jacobo Grinberg suggest, each in their own way, is that this process can be reversed. If a limiting belief was created through repetition, it can also be dismantled and replaced with a new mental model using the same principle. The difference? This time, you're doing it consciously, deliberately, choosing exactly the reality you want to create. The practice of repeating an affirmation 100 times is not just a mental exercise, it's a true ritual of reprogramming. Each repetition embeds the idea deeper into your mind until it becomes an unquestionable command for the subconscious. Just as an athlete trains their muscles until movements become automatic, you will train your mind until this new belief becomes an undeniable part of your reality. The moment doubt disappears, the universe begins to rearrange itself to reflect this new mental configuration. And that's exactly what you're about to experience. Now that you understand the foundation of this process, let's move on to its practical application. The technique is simple, but requires absolute commitment. For 7 consecutive nights, you will set aside a quiet moment free from distractions and repeat a single affirmation 100 times out loud. This affirmation should align with a genuine desire, something you want, to make an inevitable part of your reality. It could be, "My life is transforming for the better," "I am prosperous and everything flows in my favor," or any phrase that resonates with your deepest intention. The first step is to create the right environment. The subconscious mind responds best when we are relaxed, so finding a calm and comfortable place is essential. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and let go of tension. This state lowers mental resistance, making the mind more receptive to new programming. Now begin the repetition. Every word must be spoken with total emotional engagement. You're not just saying words, you're shaping reality. Feel each phrase as if it were already an absolute truth. The mind doesn't just respond to words, it responds to the energy behind them. At first, it may feel like you're just repeating sounds, but as you continue, you'll notice a shift. Your mental state will begin to change, and you'll enter a flow where the affirmation feels more real than anything else. That's the key. Repeat until your body and mind fully accept it as truth. In the days that follow, you may start noticing small changes, intuitive insights, unexpected opportunities, or signs that your reality is realigning. This happens because your mind is adjusting your perception to match the new programming. Neville Goddard taught that once a desire is accepted as an internal reality, the external world must reorganize to reflect it. After the 100 repetitions, simply stop. Don't force anything or analyze the process. Letting go is just as important as repetition. Grinberg studied how excessive conscious control can interfere with the connection to the informational field. When you release the need for immediate results, you signal to the subconscious that this reality is already yours, and that's when the changes start to manifest. Many who apply this technique experience surprising results. Small synchronicities, financial breakthroughs, an unexpected opportunity, or a newfound sense of clarity. But the truth is, this isn't magic. It's simply how the mind works. Repetition creates a new mental state which influences both your actions and how reality responds to you. Reality is not fixed. It shifts according to the mental patterns you cultivate. What Neville Goddard and Jacobo Grinberg revealed is that the power has always been within you, waiting to be directed. Now, the choice is yours. You can continue living under the beliefs that brought you here, or you can test this technique and experience it for yourself. Just 7 nights, just 100 repetitions, simple enough to seem impossible, powerful enough to change your life. What will you choose?